life. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam.
Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Pangu Guru Varga ki jai, Sri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai, Pratipadam Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Shri Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Tadi Avirbha Maha Mahotsava ki jai, Shri Madhavendra Puripad ki jai, Shri Srinivas Acharya ki jai, Shri Parameshwar Thakur ki jai, Hari Naam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So page 1, Mangalacharan. Is it working?
It says live.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So Vandeham Shri Guru, Bande, Vande. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमध्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिदा श्रीगौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दिनकारिणे रूपानुगं विरुद्धाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे। नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे परं गुरुजयते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते। गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णवा सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते लोकेश गोपिकान्तो राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जयतां सुरतोपङ्गो मम मन्दं मतेर्मति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोजो राधामदनमोहन दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमा श्रीमद्रङ्गानारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठाभिः सेव्यमानुस्मरामि। श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भि वंशीवत्ततस्थितः कर्षं मेरुस्वरे गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रीश्रीनः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णा भक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयभैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं भुविवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनं। हरे नाम हरेर्नामेव केवलं करुणास्त्येव नस्त्येव गतिरन्यथा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। For some reason, the bhajan in my head is Kavitava Karuna Prakasha from Gurudev. page 35.
Gurudev Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. So it starts with Gurudev, Kabetava.
We have a question for you. We keep getting these, prompts to bring them on camera. What does that mean?
Did you see it?
No, I think it's because you're the person that made it live, so you have the option.
What does that mean, though, to bring you on camera?
It means their little head will be, I don't know.
Okay, we'll get back to it. Thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Chalo. It's the same tune.
Gurudev Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Kabe Tava Karuna Prakashe. Gurudev Kabe Kirupe Paibo Seva, page 45.
I'm on it. Starts with K-I-R-U-P-E.
Aru. K-I-R-U-P-E. Kirupe Paibo Seva.
You have a request?
Yes.
Radha Kunda Tata.
बाद में हो जाएगा. Okay, thank you. What tune would you like to sing? Like Gauranga Didi have it?
How do you do it?
I just have to adjust the
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Shri What page is it?
58.
Nitai Padakamala.
Nitai, Nitai Pada, Pada, Nitai Pada Kamala, page 58.
Bye. Hare
Goswami Ashtakam.
Yeah. Today is the appearance of Srinivas Acharya. And we'll speak something about him. He has composed the beautiful Ashtakam, Srila Goswami Ashtakam, starting with Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro, K-R-S-N-O-T, Krishnot Kirtana. So we will now sing that beautiful Ashtakam.
It's page 264.
All together.
Can you not do it so high?
264?
Yes.
Srila Gurudev said that when he used to visit Srila Prabhupada at Radha Damodar temple, before Prabhupada went to the west, he said he used to sing this Ashtakam, weeping, with his heart melting, crying out for the mercy of the 6 Goswamis. So we'll sing it all together, not too fast. Srila Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritam Shattvasami Prabhu ki jai, Shri Srinivasacharya ki jai, Mahaprabhu.
Jai.
No?
Can you do Pasha Shati Shutam?
Pasya Shachi Sutam Anupama Rupam.
Page 338.
338.
Starts with P-A-S-Y-A, Shachi, S-A-C-I, Sutam, S-U-T-A-M. And then Radha Kunda Dutta Sudam Dimension. Because you're going to do Radha Kunda Dutta. Could you do Bhagavatamrita too?
On this one?
Could it work? Yeah.
Seems to work.
Okay.
Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. Parsya Shachi Sutam Anupam Parsya Shachi Sutam Anupam Parsya Shachi Sutam Anupam
To be honest, it's the first time we've ever sung it. So, maybe...
Normally I sing it in a very complicated Sanskrit bhajan tune. It's different than this.
No, it's not found anywhere.
It's not in the other songbooks?
No, and
or
it's
the
not
app?
online, no.
Oh, sorry about that. It's a beautiful bhajan. The meaning of it is, it's by Radha Mohan Das. Behold the unparalleled beauty of the son of Mother Shachi. He is an incomparable reservoir of nectarian rasa. Tortured by the pangs of separation that arise in his mind due to his intense attachment to Krishna, he manifests the most exquisite yet terrifying pastimes of ecstasy. Totally absorbing himself in thoughts of the Supreme Being. Here it says, Lord Jagannath. He constantly experiences the pain of separation, yet he is that very same Supreme Personality whose adorable feet are decorated by the lotus hands of Kamala. Transformations of ecstasy appear in his body. His face becomes intensely flushed and his voice falters. This Radha Mohan Das is simply hoping to attain his lotus feet. Beautiful. Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai.
Now we will do Radha Kunda Tata. Kunja Kutira.
What's that?
It's in there?
Yeah.
Kishori.
Yes?
Also, isn't there any kirtan or bhajan with Radha Ramanji's name in it?
That's what I just said. I'm trying to remember. Ramananda, do you remember the bhajan with this says Hey Radha Raman? If you can post the beginning of that. I can't remember at the moment. Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kutira. Page 218, starting with Radha, R-A-D-H-A, Radha. 218.
Many start with Radha. Radha Kunda, K-U-N-D-A.
Radha Kunda, K-U-N-D-A. K-Unda.
Page number?
218. Ah Shyama Kunda ki jai. Did they right?
I think Hare Krishna Radha Ramana Hari Bol is good. Really.
Okay. The timing is.
Yeah, so if you do Radha Ramana Hari
We're
Bol.
getting Kali. Hari Bol. Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Krishna
Joining the kirtan.
Exactly. They're not used to the vibration of the mridanga so loud in this place. So I think a glass lid fell. You might want to check it out.
No, stay there. I'll do it.
It's my fault.
It's okay, just sit. Oh, everything is fine. Okay. Just start. Okay. Sorry, devotees, if that scared everyone, and everything is good.
I don't even know if they heard it. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktāya Tad Bhaktāya Namo Namah Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangam landayate girim, yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times unto the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Visnupada, astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaja. In the same Dandavat Pranam thousands of times unto the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Visnupada, astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of you who are present with us today, participating in this Kirtan program, my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So today is a very auspicious, important, holy day. Just like yesterday, it was for us Shri Nishinga Chaturdashi. Today is, let me just get the photo up, for us many holy days rolled into one. Today is the appearance of Shri Shri Radharaman, Shri Radharamanaju ki Jai! And we have with us Shri Shri Radharaman. He came to visit today. Today is also the appearance of Shri Madhavendra Puripad, Shri Madhavendra Puripad ki Jai! It is also the appearance day of Shri Srinivas Acharya, Shri Srinivas Acharya ki Jai! It is also the disappearance day of Shri Parameshwari Thakur, Shri Parameshwari Thakur ki Jai! It is also the day Shri Krishna's Phul, Dol and Shalila Bihar. It is the day when Krishna goes on a boat with flowers on the lake, which unfortunately many devotees are not able to attend today, but within your heart you can help to float Krishna on the lake. So it is the day of Krishna going for this boat ride. Shri Krishna Phul, Dol and Shalila Bihar ki Jai. And today is also Shri Buddha Purnima. It is the full moon appearance or manifestation of Shri Buddha. Shri Buddha Purnima ki Jai. Shri Buddha Avatar ki Jai. So interestingly enough, we haven't been requested or required to fast on this day. Although in Sri Dashavatar Stotram it says, Keshava Dritta Buddha Sharira. So this is quite interesting. Also on the day of Parshuram, we have not been requested or required to fast. I don't even know if we know of the appearance day of Matsya Avatar or Kurma Avatar, but generally we observe Vaman Dwadashi, we observe Nrsimha Chaturdashi, Ram Nomi, Baladev Purnima, Gaur Purnima, Sri Nityananda Trayadashi, even Advaita Saptami. But our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have not necessarily, we even honor Shivaratri, but this day, Sri Buddha Purnima, I want to say a little something first about Buddha Purnima. There it says, I'm trying to remember Sri Dashavatar Stotram. Nindasa yagya vide raha shruti jatam sadaya hridaya darshita pashughatam Keshava Dritta Buddha Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. So, there's a very special form of the Lord who manifests as Buddha. Not the same Buddha that most people think about is Buddha, but the Buddha whose function it is to re-establish the principles of Dharma, because this is the function of the avatar of the Lord, and to annihilate adharma, or to remove adharma. So there are different Buddhas, and even within Buddhism, you will see and understand that. So, when generally we hear about Shunyavad, like in the Pranam Mantra of our Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Nirvishesh is the goal of the Mayavadis or the Ekavadis, those who want to merge or to be one, or who think they are one, and that's all there is. What you might call nirvana, white light, or Brahm. This is the goal of the Jnanis. Those who are endeavoring to attain perfection by their own potency through the medium of knowledge. This is called nirvishesh. They want to nirvishesh, means without variety or without speciality. And the other one mentioned is Shunyavad. Shunya means, literally, without. So the vad, or the conception of nothingness, is called Shunyavad. And that is the end goal of Buddhism. To not exist, or to cease to exist. Nowadays there's so many different kinds of Buddhism, and so it's difficult to find which one explains this, but generally this kind of Shunyavad, the idea of ceasing to exist, being the goal, this is also devoid of the idea of seva. It's devoid of the idea of love and affection. It is also trying to kill, in essence, the nature of the soul, which is to love and serve, and rather it is going towards ceasing to exist. So it is kind of, in essence, from the Vaishnava perspective, like a spiritual suicide.
Would it be considered more dangerous than Mayavad?
Mahaprabhu and our acharyas have mentioned that Mayavadism is nothing more than covered Buddhism, interestingly enough. Why would Mayavadism be considered maybe a bit more dangerous than the common idea of Buddhism for Vaishnavas?
Because we accept the form but reject it.
Because Mayavadis use Veda and Shastra as their evidence. So it is covered or shrouded in what appears to be Vedic Dharma, but the goal, or the end goal, is the same. To cease to have individuality, to cease to exist, to not love and to not serve. So it is actually also against the nature of the soul, but still the goal is not to cease to exist, it is to become one with the absolute eternal entity, Brahm. That is the goal of Mayavad. So our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he has written many articles and has gone deeply in and researched all of these different ideas, the different ideas of Mayavadism which have manifest over the years, and the different ideas of Buddhism as well. because this is spoken about by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our Guru Varga. What is unfavorable for our bhakti? We see in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that when Mahaprabhu went to South India, actually it was Benares, Varanasi, there he met with Prakashananda Saraswati and the 100,000 Mayavadi sannyasis. By his beauty, by his presence, they became attracted, and then they all became followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can see from this that those who are actually of the Mayavad conception, even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was of the Mayavad conception, he was converted. But then you see another pastime where Mahaprabhu was endeavoring to have a conversation with some Buddhists who would not accept the conceptions of God, of love of God, of service to God, or anything. And what was the end result of that conversation?
The bird.
A massive eagle, it was a covered form of Garuda, picked up a massive offering plate, tray, and was carrying it and dropped that tray, and it hit the leader of those persons in the head. So this is this concept, trying to destroy the nature of the soul, denying God, denying love and affection. This is also a severe form of aparad. Because it does not have the idea of love of God, or even any idea of God as its center, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas do not consider it a religion. It is a faith, it has ideas of the soul in it, but it's not considered a religion because it has nothing to do with the soul in relationship with God. It has some kind of idea of attaining enlightenment, but what is the end goal? All acharyas look at what is the end goal. These days it's very common for people, especially, we've been in many, many thousands of homes, and many devotees, they have a lot of attraction to the Buddhistic conceptions, not understanding Mahaprabhu's warnings or the warnings of our acharyas to be careful. Because in this case, we understand that Mayavadism is dangerous. But all the tenets of Buddhism are so sweet and good. So if we open ourselves up to this one, then we open up ourselves to that one and that one and that one. And then what happens? Then our minds can be distracted from devotional service to Krishna. So it can actually be very dangerous. In this case, it's almost like uncovered Mayavadism, or covered Mayavadism, because we don't understand that it can also be detrimental to our progress in bhakti. So Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he actually did intense research, and he established that the current idea of Buddhism, which is predominating in the world, is not the original Buddhism, which is referred to in Dasavatar Stotram, Keshava Ditta Buddha Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. Nindase Yagya Vider Ahaha Shruti Jatam. Why did he appear? Because people were misusing the Vedas. They were doing animal sacrifices for material purposes, and then started failing to follow all proper restrictions. So it was an excuse to eat animals. They were also doing human sacrifices in the name of the Vedas and doing all kinds of nonsense activities, misusing the Vedas. So the Supreme Lord himself manifested as Buddha, and for some time denounced the Vedas because it was being misused. And we can see, like yesterday we spoke about Hiranyakashipu. He was expert in all Shastra. He was able to tell perfect Jiva Tattva, but he himself was not following it, and he himself did not accept what he was preaching. So he was using it for one point and then not himself following it. So this is kind of abuse of Shastra. And these days our Gurudev said there are thousands and millions of gurus who do this. They utilize Shastra and Vedas and everything for what end? To increase their position, to increase their name and fame, Kanaka Kamani, to increase their monetary income, to increase their sense enjoyment. So they become expert, right? Professional speakers of Bhagavatam. How much were we warned about this by Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, all of our Guru Varga. Be careful for those who make a business out of kirtan, and for those who make a business out of speaking Harikatha. Business meaning, if you pay me so much, then I will speak. I won't do it unless I have a sellout crowd, $30 a head. So this is common these days, but all of our acharyas heavily frown on this idea. They do not accept it. They don't call it kirtan or harikatha, they call it maya. It's not favorable for devotees or anyone even to take part in this. And there's thousands and thousands of proofs from all of our Guru Varga and all Shastras about this point. So Buddha came and denounced the Vedas for some time because people were abusing the Vedas. So he denounced it, and his teachings became very popular. He basically took over India, all of India. His teachings were very attractive, and all of India accepted the teachings of Buddha, mostly. But then, the Supreme Lord himself again came and he told Lord Shiva, Mayavadam Ashashchatram, you must preach Mayavad, which is asat, which is not really in line with Shastra, but to re-establish the Vedas, and then gradually, step by step, we will introduce the principles of devotion. So Lord Shiva did not want to do it, Shankar, but anyhow, he followed the order of Vishnu, because Vishnu always sees himself as the servant of Vishnu, and he manifested as Sri Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya re-established the Vedas and drove most of the Buddhists out of India by his very powerful teachings. But he preached Sarvakal idam Brahma, that everything is Brahma. So the Buddhists went to to Sri Lanka and also to the north, so up to China, Tibet, and all of that area. And then gradually, after Shankaracharya reintroduced Vedic Dharma, but with the Mayavad conception, then came our four Vaisnava Acharyas. Ramanuja, Vishnu Swami, Madhvacharya, and Nimbaditya, and they re-established worship in a very personal way of the Lord, in so many different ways. And then Mahaprabhu came, and he took the best of all of them, and coined the term Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, which reconciled all of them together and fully manifested the idea of service to Krishna as the topmost.
So there's a quick question from LB Yogi. So she's saying, good morning, family and friends.
Good morning.
Speaking of hitting in head, I live in an area where violent crimes are very common. Last night had an attempted robbery, and the last thing I would want to do is hurt another, yet will protect myself if I feel my life is in danger. What do the Vedas say about self-protection? Pranam.
According to, there's different ideas. The Vedas actually say that if your house is on fire, you must act immediately. Or if someone sets fire to your house. If someone kidnaps your wife, you must act immediately. If someone tries to kill you, you must act immediately. If someone is stealing from you, you must act immediately. If you are in debt, then you must take care of that immediately. So there is absolute evidence and consideration for emergency situations. That if one is still on the bodily platform, I am not fully surrendered to Krishna, and I still have attachment here, that if someone is coming to attack me, or my friends or family, or they're going to hurt my Gurudeva, for example, what should I do? Well, I should jump up and stop them. This is natural. It's part of being a human being. Only those persons who are on the highest level, like we spoke about Prahlad Maharaj yesterday. Prahlad Maharaj has full conviction. He's the embodiment of Nishta, and he's already attained perfection in Shantaras, in relationship with the Lord. Therefore, he has full faith. Shraddha, what is it? Rakshishyati iti vishvasho goptritve varanam tata. That Krishna is my protector and my maintainer. And he has no attachment whatsoever to the body. If Krishna wants to separate that soul from that body and put the soul in another body, then if Krishna wants to kill me, no one can save me. And if Krishna wants to save me, then no one can kill me. Whatever happens is according to the will and the mercy of the Lord. So for those persons, they have no consideration of all of these things. But for us who are on the material platform, who might still be on the material platform, I'm not saying that all of you who are watching are, for us, then if somebody is coming to attack, then it is natural to defend. It is natural, and it is not wrong according to Shastra or Veda. A lot of times people say, oh, do it with love, this and that. But they fail to think about, what if somebody was coming after your own family member, your wife or your husband or your child, with a knife? What would you do? You would want to defend, and you might end up hurting or killing the person who's attacking. According to Shastra and Veda, self-defense is considered okay. So in that case, yes, there's nothing to worry about at that time, although it is still binding in karma, but there is some provision made for that.
Isn't it proper as a devotee to protect your life at all costs if you see it as the property of your Gurudev?
So Sudevi is adding something. When one has received Diksha and taken shelter of the lotus feet of Gurudev, at that time, one should literally offer themselves, this mind, this body, everything in relation. Here, I'm offering at your lotus feet, which means that it is no longer my property, it is the property of Gurudev and Krishna. Now, let's say you have something which is very fragile, which belongs to Gurudev, something of Gurudev's, and someone comes to break that, you will try to protect it. This body also belongs to Gurudev. So, for seva, and also thinking about this valuable human form of life is the only way by which I can endeavor for perfection, and it belongs to Guru and Krishna for their service, then we should also treat it accordingly. We should take care of the body, and we should utilize it in the service of Krishna. So I hope I was able to answer your question. Definitely, if someone tries to attack, you should be in a safe situation. Keep your door locked, keep your windows closed, and if someone comes to attack and you need to defend yourself, chant Hare Krishna loudly. Maybe in a last-minute emergency, you call out to Lord Nrsingadev, call out to Gurudev, and then do what you need to do. Hare Krishna. What is beneficial for yourself, what is beneficial for others, and what is acceptable within Vedic Dharma. We even see how Krishna instigated the battle of Kurukshetra, Mahabharata war, to destroy those who would destroy devotees. So this can also take place if those persons are physically attacking, then you protect yourself. So today, we offer our pranam to Buddhaji, the manifestation of the Supreme Lord who has come to decry those who are abusing the Vedas in order to re-establish. Sometimes it's necessary to take a step back in order to jump forward. So this particular form of the Lord manifested like this, Keshavadrita Buddha Sharira Jaya Jagadish Hare. Today is Buddha Purnima. Today is also the day of Parameshwar Thakur. I don't know much about him. I just read a little bit from Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, and he was explaining that Parameshwari Thakur is a very powerful, great personality, and Vaisnava, I'm just offering my pranam unto his lotus feet. I can't even remember what I read about him. Today is also the day of Madhavendra Puripad, Srinivas Acharya, and Sri Radharaman. So first I will mention Madhavendra Puripad and Srinivas Acharya, and then I will come to Radharaman, because without the mercy of the devotees, we cannot really attain the mercy of Krishna. Pratamam tu Gurum Pujam, and also the Lord Shiva says to Parvati that Tadyanam Samarchanam, more than the worship of Vishnu, is the worship and the service of his devotees. If one worships Krishna's devotees, he becomes very pleased. Krishna said that those who say that they are my devotee, they're not really my devotee, but the devotee of my devotee, he is my real devotee. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he speaks these words, Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Das Das Anudas. What is my identity? I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the beloved of the gopis. So this idea of servant of the servant of the servant, if one is coming into Vaishnavism and they maintain this idea within their heart, then they can always be meek and humble. Trinadapi Suni Chena. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says that we should be humble to Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. It's not that we shouldn't be respectful to everyone else, but we should not take association from those who do not have a mood of devotion to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said, if we have the superior thing, then why should we take association? No, rather we should give association. So, today's the appearance day of Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas Acharya is the one who composed that beautiful ashtakam, Sri Shad Goswami ashtakam, which we sung earlier. Krishnot kirtana gana nartana paro premamritambo nidhi dhira dhira janapriyo priyakaro nirmatsaro pujito Shri Chaitanya kripa bharo bhuvi bhuvo bharavahantarako vande rupa sanatano raghulivo Shri Jiva Gopalako. So, the Srinivas Acharya, he was not an ordinary personality. It is said that his parents were very dear devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, his father was like possessed with love and affection of Mahaprabhu to such an extent that he was nicknamed Chaitanya Das, the servant of Chaitanya. At a certain point, he had a great strong urge within his heart to have a child. But because he himself saw that I am the property of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not just go ahead. He went to see Mahaprabhu and regain Mahaprabhu's blessings. So he offered full Dandavat Pranam at the feet of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu immediately knew what was in his heart, and he said, he gave his blessings, and then he told that their child, the child of this Chaitanya Das and his wife, this child will be the embodiment of my love and affection. He will be a great Vaishnava, and his name will be Srinivas. So Mahaprabhu already gave this, that he will be the embodiment of my love and affection, and he will preach my mission all over. So before his birth already, Mahaprabhu had ordained this, had given his blessings, and not only that, but also this Chaitanya Das. Sorry, this was another story. I'm not going to mix them, sorry. So they had this beautiful child, Srinivas. And he was raised from childhood to be a pure devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna. It is said that his mother taught him music. He learned all Shastras and Tattva Siddhanta and everything from his father related to Krishna. So he was raised in a very beautiful Vaishnava way. And this is something that all of us should take into consideration. These days there's an idea that we should just allow our children to do what they want, and then later on they can make a choice. But if there's no push toward Krishna, because all we have ever known is our own sense enjoyment, it'll be very difficult to take up the path of Krishna Bhakti. It's kind of like, I've never given you a choice. Now I'm going to give you a choice of eternal slavery or sense enjoyment. Sorry, eternal slavery to God or sense enjoyment, which is eternal slavery to Maya. Most will go toward sense enjoyment because we're familiar with that. That's what we know. If one is not encultured in Bhagavad Dharma from the beginning of their life, as Prahlad Maharaj told yesterday, Kumaram Acharit Prabhyo, from the very beginning of one's life, Dharman Bhagavataniha, one should engage in the dharma or the occupation of enculturing service mood to Krishna, to Bhagavan. This is what Prahlad Maharaj is recommending. If one is not encultured like that, then it will be very difficult to give up their material momentum. So the duty of every parent or anyone in any position is to encourage those who are their dependents toward the path of love and devotion to Krishna, away from the path which leads to death. This will be the greatest non-violence to that jiva. The ahimsa is to somehow push them toward Krishna. It doesn't have to be force, but it can be beautiful coaxing. Just like we had one person who used to travel with us, his name I will not tell, but he was a very good mridanga player.
Oh, I know.
And it was very difficult for him to concentrate on the classes. It would just it was too difficult for him. He's like, I need something else to do. If I'm doing something else, then I can hear your classes. So we gave him a coloring book. And he would sit there and color during the classes, and afterward he would come back with everything that we spoke. Before that, he couldn't hear it. So this is a way to help someone. We have to, Srila Prabhupada used the term, the acharya has to come up with very interesting or innovative means how to spread Krishna consciousness. And he himself did it. So it might be that we have to find a way that children can become attracted, that I want to love and serve Krishna. And this is the duty of the parents, not to just let them do all nonsense activities and absorb themselves in Maya. So we see that Chaitanya Das encultured his child, this Srinivas, in the mood of loving service to Krishna. This makes him the perfect parent. It is said in Shastra that the child who can save their parents from death, they are known as putra, who stops their parents from going to hell because they are devotees of the Lord. Anyone who's a devotee of the Lord, even a first rate means kanishta adhikari, first level, 7 generations back and forth, and some say even in multiple dimensions through previous lives are automatically liberated. So the best thing one can do for any of their family members besides direct encouragement is for themselves to also become the best devotee they can be. So I was making a point which I just lost. Srinivas was raised in this beautiful way. Oh, I was talking about putra. Putra means the son or the child who will save their parents from going to hell. That child who is not encultured in Krishna Bhakti, whose only obsession and absorption is in the material world, who cannot save their parents from going to hell, they are known as mutra. It is said that putra and mutra come from the same source. That person who is putra can save their parents from going to hell. That person who is mutra is considered non-different from urine. Mutra means urine in Sanskrit. So go mutra means like cow urine. I just wanted to share that point. So Chaitanya Das encultured Srinivas in Krishna Bhakti and in devotion to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates. So from the beginning of his life, Srinivas had intense attachment to all of the associates of Mahaprabhu. He came just at the time after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when so many of Mahaprabhu's associates were leaving this world. So as he was running from one place to the next to meet with any Vaisnava, any associate of Mahaprabhu, just before he arrived, they would depart from this world. Sri Ramananda Rai, when asked by Mahaprabhu, is in the conversation in Rai Ramananda Sanbad and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is the greatest suffering? What is the greatest distressing thing? Rai Ramananda replied, I do not know of any greater suffering than separation from the Vaishnavas. And because this young boy Srinivas had already been encultured with this spontaneous attraction to being with, hearing from, and serving Vaishnavas, when he was running to meet with them and they were disappearing from this world, each time he felt like Karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya prana na rakhibo ar. Without your mercy, I have no reason to maintain my existence. And he actually wanted to give up his life. And then he would run to the next and run to the next, and he was feeling so much desperate separation from the Vaishnavas. It is said that he went to see Sri Gadadhar Pandit, who remained in this world. Gadadhar Pandit knew that Srinivas was going to come to see him, and he was supposed to give him mercy. It is said that Gadadhar Pandit would have left a long time before in separation from Mahaprabhu. But for Srinivas, this is told in Bhakti Ratnakar, for Srinivas, Gadadhar Pandit. Who's Gadadhar Pandit? Gaura Shakti. Who's that? Rishabhananandini Srimati Radhika. Remained in this world to give this Srinivas mercy. So Srinivas met Gadadhar Pandit, and it was such a beautiful reunion. And Srinivas wanted to learn Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. Except Srimad Bhagavatam is what? What is Srimad Bhagavatam? It is the descriptions of the loving and affectionate dealings between the devotees and Krishna. In those days, books were not the same as they are now. The ink was not the same as it is now. By the tears of Gadadhar Pandit, all of the ink was smeared. It was completely smeared and not legible. So Srinivas went to go find another Srimad Bhagavatam to bring to Gadadhar Pandit to learn Bhagavatam. But what happened? When he returned, Gadadhar Pandit had left this world. Srinivas was completely overcome with immense separation and again decided to give up his life. But then by great mercy he was sent to Vrindavan to come under the shelter of Rupa and Sanatan. When he arrived in Vrindavan, he found out that they had also just departed this world. So again he was thrown into such a deep, desperate, desolate separation. But then some still remained here. Who remained? Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. So Srinivas, he came under their guidance. He received initiation from Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami and gave his heart and his service at the lotus feet of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. But at that time, Jiva Goswami was known as the president or the Prime Minister of the Vishva Vaishnava Raja Sabha. This is the World Association of Vaishnavas, of all of the Vaishnavas in Gaur Parivar, the global association. Vishva Vaishnava means of the universe, the Universal Association of Vaishnavas, Raja Sabha. So at that time, anyone would send their student to Jiva Goswami to continue their education. So the Srinivas's Diksha Guru was Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and his Shiksha Guru is Jiva Goswami. Our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj explained that nowadays, gurus, they have this very selfish mood with their, oh, this is my disciple, don't talk to him, don't go there. But in those days, it wasn't like that. Everyone saw that their disciple is a servant of Krishna, and who could increase that desire and that mood of loving service to Krishna? The Guru would gladly push them, go, speak with them, hear from that Vaishnava, be with that Vaishnava, learn about love for Krishna, because those Vaishnavas did not have any selfish mood. Their mood was only how to enculture themselves and everyone else in loving service of Krishna. So, the Srinivas, he was engaged in the service and he was learning from Srila Jiva Goswami, along with two other Shiksha God brothers. Who are they? Sri Narottam Das and Shyamananda. So these personalities received from Srila Jiva Goswami. It is said that Shyamananda received this name from Jiva Goswami, or we hear that he received it from Srimati Radhika. Narottam Das Thakur received the title Mahashai, great personality, from Jiva Goswami. And this Srinivas, because he was so erudite in his knowledge of Shastra and how to present the Siddhanta of Bhakti Siddhanta, Srila Jiva Goswami gave him the title Acharya. Shri Srinivas Acharya Ki Jai. So then, Jiva Goswami and the other Vaishnavas sent Narottam Srinivas and Shyamananda on the first traveling Sankirtan party with books. Previous to that, it was without books, but they took all of the books of the Goswami toward Bengal, of the Goswamis, toward Bengal to be retranscribed. In those days it was...
Well, there were already, so many, 13 Appa Sampradayas. So
that was at the time that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita was written.
Yes, so they were going to give out the moods of the Goswamis to establish the proper...
So the Goswamis had sent their books, which were the authorized representations of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, out into the world, because so many Appa Sampradayas, it means those groups who were forming, who claimed to be within the Sampradaya, or the lines, the bona fide lines of initiation coming from, originally from the Lord, who claimed to be there, but they were deviating. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says this is the beginning of a schism when anyone changes the words of the teachings of their Gurudev. Then immediately it becomes a disturbance to society, and it becomes asat, means untruthful, or appa, opposite or against Sampradaya. So just after the time of Mahaprabhu, when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was writing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, at that time he diagnosed 13 Apasampradayas. After that, at the time of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there were so many more Apasampradayas. By the time it came to Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he diagnosed so many, like hundreds, and nowadays, you cannot even count. Even within every group, there are so many Apasampradayas. So, Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam were all expert in different styles of kirtan. They were also expert in preaching, which is also another form of kirtan. Our Gurudev, he said, Harikatha is the most powerful form of kirtan. Kirtan is not only singing the names, kirtan is also glorifying the pastimes, the names and the forms and the qualities of the Lord. Like Shukadev Goswami, he is one of the best kirtaniyas. So, Narottam, Srinivas, and Shyamananda were all expert pracharaks, preachers of the glories of the Lord, and also expert in doing Nam Sankirtan, and they each had their own musical styles. So these personalities were traveling with these books, and they went to one kingdom very far away. I can't remember the name of the kingdom, but the name of the kingdom I can't remember, but the name of the king there was Birhambir. Yeah, Birhambir. And at that time, they felt, Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam, they had been entrusted with these books, which were to be transcribed and to be shared and spread out. They felt they were in a comfortable place, that they could rest. So at that time, the king of that area, although he was a Vaisnava, still he had a tendency to take things from different persons. He was told by his kingly astrologer that there is a traveling party who has the most valuable treasure with them. So he became greedy and he wanted that most valuable treasure. So in the night, he had sent his guards, but ordered them, try to do it in a way so they don't even realize, they don't wake up, just take the treasure. Because the astrologer said it's the most valuable treasure you could ever imagine. So he sent his guards out. His guards means his henchmen, his dacoits. He was like a dacoit king. And they went in the night. They saw that everyone was asleep. So they took that trunk full of treasures. Of course, it's not their job to look what's inside. They just heard it is valuable. So they brought it to the king and gave it to the king. The king opened it up and saw, what is this? I thought it was valuable treasures. It's just a bunch of books. How is this going to be treasure? So he just closed it and put it to the side. When Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam woke up, they were completely desolate. They had been entrusted with the handwritten works of the Goswamis, and all of it had been stolen. They were fainting. Srinivas was cursing himself. What have I done? Because of my laziness, because of this tendency of laziness, I have failed to protect the works of the Goswamis. I have destroyed my service, and I fell asleep because of laziness.
Even the guards fell asleep.
Everyone had fallen asleep, but especially Shyamananda, Srinivas, and Narottam were completely overcome with grief. What have I done? What have I done? So they were searching all this way and that way, but they couldn't find it. They had no idea where it had gone. So Srinivas told Narottam, you should go to the north. And he told Shyamananda to go to the south. And in the meantime, you should, through the medium of kirtan, preach the conceptions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our Goswamis. So Narottam went to the north. And we know how successful he was in his preaching. Through the medium of his kirtan, he even converted the king of Manipur. And the whole country became Vaishnava because of Narottam Das Thakur. And all of that area, north, Bengal, Bangladesh, everything. All the way up to Manipur. And then Shyamananda, he went down south toward Orissa and other areas there. And so their kirtan style is based on Shyamananda's kirtan style. And he converted so many to Vaishnavism, bringing them all to the path of Krishna Bhakti in the line of thought of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srinivas stayed there in that kingdom, hoping for any word of these books, searching this way and that way. One day, he attended a Bhagavatam class. These days they call it Bhagavatamrita, where someone was presenting the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and speaking about it, who was supposedly very expert. This was held at the court, the Shabha of the king. So Srinivas went there to hear. And when he heard, he was thinking, it's very nice, but there's so many other things that he missed that I would like to share. So he said, can I share something regarding this subject that this Bhagavat Purohit, who was speaking, Srimad Bhagavatam, was speaking, can I share something? And the king said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And Srinivas began speaking about this subject, but with so much transcendental emotion connected to this subject of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, the moods of the Goswamis and Mahaprabhu's, he's the embodiment of Mahaprabhu's love and affection. It was manifesting in his heart, and tears were pouring from his eyes as he was sharing all of these moods of the Goswamis. At that time, the king saw this is no ordinary person. He fell at the feet of Srinivas and begged him, please accept me as your disciple. Because the king was also a Vaishnava. He just had this aberration of needing to steal treasures as they would come through the kingdom. So at that time, he fell at the feet of Srinivas, begged him, please accept me as your disciple, which Srinivas subsequently did. And then he was instructing the king. And the king wanted to offer some dakshina. This is the duty of a disciple. When Guru gives something, the disciple also gives something. And it's called Guru Dakshina. What is that? Whatever the Guru asks. But really the dakshina of a disciple should be my body, my life, my soul, my everything offered at your lotus feet. And the most important quality, our Gurudev told, for a disciple, the most important quality, even if you have so many other bad qualities, even material attachments, even lust or so many other things, but the main, most essential quality, which can actually bring a disciple to bring pleasure to Guru, is loyalty. Loyalty. Interesting, isn't it? That one quality. Maybe I have thousands of other qualities, but if I have nishta, at least I have faith and conviction in the lotus feet of my Guru and his instructions, and loyalty, he can work with that and very easily purify all of my anarthas. So this king fell at the feet of Srinivas Acharya, offered him some Guru Dakshina, and he said, is there anything that I can get for you? And Srinivas mentioned, well, as a matter of fact, there were some books. We were traveling in a party and we had a box of books with us, handwritten by our Goswamis, and I've been searching for them. So if you happen to know where they are, if you happen to hear where they are, if you could please reveal that to me, or if you can arrange to get my books back, that would be wonderful. And the king said, oh my God, that was me. And he was so apologetic and so sorry, because he had taken shelter of Srinivas. So the Srinivas got these books back. And through the medium of Srinivas' style of kirtan, he also converted all of those in that area of Bengal to Vaishnavism. So these three are very powerful personalities. And Srinivas Acharya is one of the best and the prominent disciples of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So by the mercy of Srinivas Acharya, we can also receive some of the understanding of the glories and the mercy of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Today is also the appearance of Sri Madhavendra Puripad and Sri Radharaman. So, because I spoke about Srinivas and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, I want to just speak something about Sri Radharaman at this moment. So, Sri Srinivas Acharya ki jai, Sri Sri Radharamanu ki jai. So many thousands of people, they say Radharamana Lal ki jai, and they look at Radharaman like he's a little baby. But that's not necessarily the correct way to look at him. If you can see very clear, well, it's hard to see because he's covered in a dhoti, but his legs are crossed, he's holding a flute to his lips. He is not a little boy. He is known as, not Yashoda Dulal, he's not known as a Gopa. He's not known as a baby, he's known as Radharaman. Radharaman means he who is giving pleasure to Sri Radha.
Just so you know, Vichitra said that it was Vishnupur.
Thank you, Vichitra Didi. Vishnupur, yes.
Thank you, Didi.
I think there's another term before that, Vishnupur. Something Vishnupur.
Shri.
No. So, Radharaman is not Yashoda's baby. He is not the Saka of the cowherd boys. He is Radha's Raman. Means who is giving pleasure to Srimati Radhika, or also whom Srimati Radhika is giving pleasure to. He is said to be the combined form of Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan, and it is said that Srimati Radhika is also within him. So today is his appearance day, which is quite interesting, because how did Radharaman manifest? Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami was worshipping. He had 12 Shalagram Shilas. We already heard about Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He received the mercy of Mahaprabhu when he was very young, and then he was engaged in doing research work to give all kinds of evidence from Shastra and proof for all of the works of the Goswamis. And he himself was also a prominent Goswami. Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. So Gopal means Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He's one of the prominent 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So this Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, being a very near and dear devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also very near and dear to Rupa and Sanatan and the other Goswamis, he was residing in Vrindavan, doing his bhajan and his sadhan 24 hours a day. I have to sit properly.
Sit properly.
Yes, we had that driven into our heads in a very beautiful way. Every morning when we would hear Prabhupada chanting japa, then suddenly we'd hear that sit properly, and we'd all just sit straight. So, Gopal Bhatta Goswami was worshipping his Shalagram Shilas. So it is said that one day someone provided so many beautiful clothes and jewels for his Thakurji. So many nice cloths and everything. And at that time, Rupa Goswami was worshipping Govindaji, which he discovered underneath Gomatila. And he established Govindaji. Jiva Goswami was worshipping Radha Damodar. Sanatan Goswami was worshipping Madan Mohan. But Gopal Bhatta Goswami was worshipping his Shalagram Shilas. And at that time, it is said that he began feeling within his heart, oh, others are able to dress their deities so nicely because of their shape and form, but I can't dress my Shalagrams in the same way. So some desire manifested in his heart that, that I would also like to be able to dress my Thakurji like this, for the service of Krishna. It is said that at night when he would go to sleep, he would put his Shalagrams in a sack or a basket and hang them from a branch in a tree. When he woke up the next morning, he saw that one of his Shalagrams had changed dramatically. Spontaneous change. From that Shalagram manifested Swayambhu, means self-manifested, Shri Radharaman. Shri Radharaman Ju ki jai! He is one of the most beloved Thakurjis of Vrindavan. So he manifested very beautifully, standing in his Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam, beautiful, blackish and threefold bending form, holding his arms up, playing a flute. If you see him closely, he has very beautiful eyes, very beautiful lips. He even has teeth, very fine fingers. Everything, he is well endowed. And he is fully formed, but not a little boy. He is, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said when he came to Vrindavan and stood in front of Radharaman, in Sri Radharaman, I see the teen Thakurs of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Madan Mohan, Govinda and Gopinath. I see them present within him. So he is the embodiment of all of them. And it is said that even within himself, Srimati Radhika is also present.
Is there any correlation between yesterday of being Lord Nrsingadev coming out of stone, out of a pillar, and today Radharamanji breaking out of a Shila?
So this is a very interesting question. Is there any correlation between Nrsimhadev breaking out of the pillar yesterday and Radharaman breaking out of his Shila? Shila means stone. Is there any correlation? Apparently there is, because what time did Nrsimhadev break out of that pillar?
The evening, twilight.
Twilight. At that time in the evening. At least that's what time he killed Hiranyakashipu. And what time did Radharaman actually manifest?
Don't know.
Sometime in the night. We don't know. But Gopalabhatta Goswami woke up in the morning to see a fully formed Radharaman who had manifest from his own Shalagram Shila. One of them manifested as this Radharaman. So it seems quite interesting that Narasimhadev manifested from a stone pillar and Radharaman manifested from a stone Shila. Shila means stone. Govardhan Shila. Shalagram Shila. So he manifested from this stone just the day after we observed Nrsimha Chaturdasi, the day that Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from the stone pillar. So there seems to be a very strong correlation there. I once heard it said very beautifully. Someone asked what kind of meditation we could have when we are standing in front of Radharaman. We've heard how, Narahari, he's saying, how is it possible that the Lord has given me a stone in place of a heart? There's one bhajan we sing. And we can look inside, our hearts have become like stone. Right? Because this desire, this spontaneous tendency to serve and love Krishna is not manifesting. I just saw, my brother posted a beautiful quote of Srila Prabhupada the other day, a video. It's only 5 minutes, and Prabhupada was basically referencing the first chapter of Jaiva Dharma, that due to association with the material energy since time immemorial, our nature, which is meant to be like water flowing toward the ocean, has become hard like ice. So hard it's become like stone. How hard-hearted we are. So when we're in front of Radharaman, we can also pray to him that my heart is also like a stone, but you manifested from a stone. So please be merciful and also manifest from my stone-like heart.
One thing that's also really beautiful is that Lord Narsingh Bhagavan, he is the personification of anger and came out of anger, but because of the love of Gopalabhatta Goswami, out of his prem, a different kind of Krishna manifested for him.
That's beautiful. Did you all hear that? I'm sure you did. Because of the prem of Gopalabhatta Goswami, a different form of Krishna, the form of absolute loveliness, manifested from that Shila to reciprocate with his devotee, Sri Gopalabhatta Goswami's love and affection for him.
It's time for Madhavinda Puri because we have a day-to-day.
Right. Well, yeah. We have a date at 8 o'clock. We're going to be doing another live kirtan
We're going to Mauritius.
Yes, we're going to Mauritius. It's called Kirtan Sangha Mauritius, and that will be at 8 o'clock Vrindavan time. So now, Shri Shri Radha Ramana Juga Ki Jai! Just remember, he is Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, all in one. I remember hearing from Gurudev, it's like the feet of Madan Mohan. So you approach first from the feet, the torso of Govindaji and the face of Gopinath. How beautiful and how sweet and how attractive is he. But don't be fooled. He comes in a form looking like a small child because he's little, but you know that Govinda, be careful for him. Bandhu Sange Jarita Varanga Parihas. Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan will steal your heart and your mind, and you will lose all attraction to everything else. So today is also the day of Sri Madhavendra Puripad. Sri Madhavendra Puripad Ki Jai. He is the grand guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is said to be the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. So Krishna Bhakti has so many different factors. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is said to be the mature trunk of that, but it has to start somewhere. There's the root, then there's the sprout, then there's the trunk, and then there's all the branches and the fruit. So, who is the sprout? The first sprout is Mahaprabhu's Guru, Sri Ishwar Puripad. the disciple of the root, Srimad Puripad. Why is he compared to the root? Because he is the first person in our history that we have seen who has manifested this mood of spontaneous love and affection for Radha Krishna in Vrindavan.
One thing though, Jayadev Goswami was before him, and he had written some...
Geet Govinda and so many others. But Jayadev Goswami also had some Aishwarya Bhav. Jayadev Goswami was trying to write, and this mood came in his heart, Smaragara Lakandanam. How can I write that Krishna is begging Srimati Radhika for her foot dust? This Aishwarya Bhav manifested, and he left while he was thinking about that to go bathe in the river and chant his mantras. At that time, his wife saw that immediately he came back and said, I forgot something, I have to write something. And then he left again. And then Jayadev Goswami came back. And she said, what happened? You left, you came back again, you left again and you came back? And he said, what do you mean? She said, yeah, you wrote something in your book. He was like, what? I only went out once. Then he ran to the book to look. And that thing which was manifested in his heart, which he himself couldn't write, he saw that it was written. Then he realized, Krishna himself took my form and came and wrote this. Smaragara Mamashita Shimandanam Dehi Patapalavamudaram. But we see that Madhavendra Puri was manifesting the symptoms of ecstatic love. We have not heard of this before. What kind of ecstatic love, Braja Prem, that he himself was manifesting. I have not heard of Jayadev Goswami manifesting these symptoms, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified Madhavendra Puri as this Prema Kalpataru, the root of the tree of Krishna Prem. So, Madhavendra Puri, because of this nature, we have come in his line, and it is important to understand that Madhavendra Puri is coming through his sannyas line in the Madhva Sampradaya. Some people say that those who are coming in the line of Mahaprabhu are not in Sampradaya, but you can trace Madhavendra Puris to Madhva Acharya. So we are also considered within this Brahma Madhva Gauriya Sampradaya. So Madhavendra Puri, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Remuna, this is the place of the temple of Kirchor Gopinath, the Gopinath who steals Kir. When Mahaprabhu went to that place, he did kirtan. It is said at first he offered Dandava Pranam at the feet of Gopinath. And at that time, Gopinath dropped his garland on the head of Mahaprabhu, who became ecstatic and began dancing. And then he sat down and began glorifying his Param Gurudev, as any good grand disciple would do. How wonderful is my Param Gurudev. Trust me, the trick of receiving the mercy of your Gurudev is to glorify your Guru's Guru. It is, if you glorify your Guru's Guru, your Guru will be so happy, so pleased, and he will shower mercy on you. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also showing this, how excited he was to glorify this Madhavendra Puripad. So he told all of the devotees who were present with him after they did this kirtan, beautiful katha about Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was a very special kind of sannyasi who followed a very special kind of principle. He completely depended upon the Lord, and when he was not a beggar. Many sannyasis are beggars, but he never asked anyone for anything. He would simply go and sit someplace and take shelter of Harinam Prabhu, remembering Krishna's pastimes and chanting the holy names of the Lord. Whatever would come to him, then he would accept that. But he wouldn't go out of his way to make any arrangements. Why? Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshem vahamyaham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, for one who is one-pointed, exclusively surrendered and devoted to me, I personally carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. So he would accept only a little milk. It was very, very simple. Very simple. Just enough to keep body and soul together so he could do his bhajan, his remembrance of Krishna's pastimes and chanting Krishna's names 24 hours a day. So one day he came to Govardhan, and he did Govardhan Parikrama, And then he took bath in Govindakund and then sat under a tree in that place. And he was just meditating on the sweet pastimes of Krishna. Sometime later, near the end of the day, one very beautiful young boy came to him and said, captivated and charmed, and he said to him, how did you know that I have not taken anything? And no one in my village goes hungry. So here, you take this milk, I will come and collect this, because Madhavendra Puri was looking at it so hot and so tired for so long. So I want you to gather some help and to find me, to remove me from this place and feed me and cool me and reestablish my worship. Madhavendra Puri woke up from that dream and began repenting. Oh my God, what happened? Krishna himself, Gopal, had come to me and giving me this milk, and I did not even realize it was him. And so he was repenting, but at the same time he was so happy. My God, I've been given a direct order by Gopal to worship him. So immediately he went and told all of the villagers, bring shovels, bring pickaxes, bring what you can, bring machetes, so we can cut the thicket and find this Gopal Didi. So they went to the place where Madhavendra Puri was ordered to go by this Gopal in his dream. And sure enough, they found a very beautiful Didi of Gopal. Many of you have probably seen him. He's standing, looking like Giridhari, like this. Very beautiful black form with his finger up like this, means holding Giriraj. He is currently now in Natwar, in Udaipur, and worshipped by the Valam Sampradaya, I believe. So Madhavendra Puri had collected him from this thicket, and then he was very heavy, so they brought very strong men to lift him, and they brought him back on top of Govardhan, Giriraj. He was ordered to do so. Brajabasis, they can walk on Giriraj. For us, we don't have the qualification. So, Madhavendra Puri first bathed him. It was said that when they tried to stand him up, he couldn't stand on his own, so they had to bring 3 massive stones to balance him. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaja explained that it was quite interesting, because generally we see that Krishna doesn't need anything, but he comes to us in the form of Vigraha, acting completely needy and dependent so that his devotees can serve him. So he manifests in the forms of Sri Vigraha to accept the service of the devotee. So they leaned him on these stones, and then they began bathing him and putting so much oil on him to cool him, because he said, I'm so hot. So they began doing so many abhisheks. Then Madhavendra Puri, I have to skip ahead,
just do that,
installed him and did massive Anukut Mahamahotsav. So one village after the next, after the next, after the next was engaged. They were actually begging, please, can we also have a shift of serving Gopal? So thousands of villagers from all over the place were coming. It was like the largest...
1 year.
2 years.
2 years.
The largest Anukut Mahamahotsav since the time of Krishna, when the original Brajabasis were doing this festival serving Giriraj Maharaj. So for 2 years, so much bathing of this Giridhari Gopal, and so with all different yogurt and ghee and milk and all of the different ingredients for Abhishek. And also, I remember reading today how they would smear his body in so much oil that he would become so black and shiny. Imagine how beautiful. So they were offering so much, and then he would Gopal would provide prasad to everyone. Mahaprabhu kept saying only a pure devotee can understand how this is possible, that he was taking everything and then re-providing it back to everyone. At a certain point, after 2 years, Gopal again came to him in a dream and told him, I'm still so hot. So I need you to go to the south, to the Malayan province, which is near Puri, in Orissa, and get chandan, so that you can cool me. I'm so hot still. So Madhavendra Puri, although he was elderly, he accepted this order of Gopal and immediately set out for Puri. He engaged 2 Brahmin priests who had come. Actually, they were Brahmin sannyasis he initiated them and engaged them in the service of Gopal. And he went to the south.
Taking months.
Yes, it was months. He had to go on foot at that time. So he went because he was given the order by Gopal. For ordinary persons, it might be that the Lord comes in our dream, but it might just be a dream. Like once Sudevi had a dream.
Not time.
No time, but I just want to say that she mentioned it to Gurudev, I had this dream, and he said, you're very fortunate to have had this dream, but unfortunately, I have not had the same dream as you. In other words, don't take it seriously. But for the pure devotee...
I've had some good dreams too, though.
Yes. For the pure devotee, when they have a dream of Krishna, and Krishna is speaking to them, this is the same as Krishna standing in front of them and speaking to them, because this is Krishna. And they're always connected to Krishna, externally and internally. So Krishna sent him, Gopal sent him, and he went toward Puri. On the way, he stopped in the temple where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this Katha, the temple of Gopinath. When he was there, he had heard that there's a very beautiful preparation. He had done kirtan, he was chanting and dancing and weeping and falling at the feet, offering pranam. But he heard that there was a very beautiful preparation called Amrita Keli. This preparation, Amrita Keli, is supposedly like amazing nectar kheer. So Madhavendra Puri had desired, I would like to taste a little bit so that I can learn how to make it and offer it to my Gopal. This is also, the nature of a devotee, that they want to offer the best thing to their Thakurji. So Madhavendra Puri was in that place. After some time, he left there because he was feeling, oh, what have I done? I desire to taste something which Gopinath did not yet take. This is not right. We should not lust over the food before it is offered to the Lord. So he was feeling somewhat bad in his heart. And so he went out to the marketplace, the empty marketplace where no one was, to just take shelter of Harinam Prabhu and remember the pastimes of Krishna. As our Gurudeva would say, chant and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna. The pujari had fallen asleep, and the pujari had a dream. Gopinath tells the pujari, I have, by my mystic power, stolen one of the pots of kheer and hid it under my cloth. You should find that kheer immediately and go and bring it out to the marketplace and give it to my devotee Madhavendra Puri. This pujari woke up from his dream so excited. He went and he found that pot of kheer. I think there were 12 pots, and the pujari didn't realize that one was taken away, but he found that pot of kheer and realized this is nothing ordinary. In the same way that the pujari at Sevakunj had a dream and was told in the dream by Srimati Radhika to bring kheer to Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, kheer prasad, which they did. And they developed so much faith in our Gurudev from this. So, this person was searching in the marketplace. Will he whose name is Madhavendra Puri please step forward, make yourself seen? I have a very special thing for you. I have something special for you. Madhavendra Puri heard his name being called and he came forward. And this pujari fell at his feet, offered Dandavat Pranam and told, I had this dream, and he told everything. Gopinath gave this kheer for you. He stole it himself and told me to give it to you. Madhavendra Puri at the same time was feeling ashamed, but also so excited. Gopinath sent me this kheer. He was so overwhelmed and happy. So immediately he took this, and he was experiencing divine and transcendental ecstasy by taking this Amrita Keli kheer, which was stolen by Gopinath. From that moment, that Gopinath Titi was no longer known as Gopinath. He became known as Kheer Chor Gopinath, the Gopinath who had stolen kheer for Sri Madhavendra Puri. So, Madhavendra Puri was taking this kheer, and because this pot had been directly touched by Gopinath, and he knew it was, it is said that he also broke this pot, this clay pot, into small pieces and kept them tied up in a sack. And he would take little bits of that and also eat that and experience transcendental ecstasy. Madhavendra Puri was very, very humble. So he decided, I don't want the pratishta that will come. Sure enough, this pujari will tell someone who will tell another. And then so many people will come and try to glorify me. So I don't want this. So immediately he decided to set out for Puri. So it is said that because the Lord always likes to glorify his devotees, he sent the message ahead of Madhavendra Puri that Kirachora Gopinath stole Kir from Madhavendra Puri. So by the time Madhavendra Puri arrived in Puri, everyone already knew this katha. And so many were giving him so much respect, but he could not run away from there. Why? Because he had his obligation to serve Gopal. He had to collect this Malaya Chandan, this special Chandan which would be cooling for the body of his Gopal. So Madhavendra Puripad, by so much hard work, by so much negotiating, he was able to arrange this. He made connection with all of the Pandas of Jagannath Puri temple who were very happy to help him. They even arranged all of the paperwork because at that time it was a very difficult thing to transport. Maybe something like ivory and sandalwood. You had to have all the appropriate paperwork and you had to pay all these fines and tolls. So all the paperwork was arranged for him, and even a Brahmin servant was given to him to help him to bring this forward. So with so much great endeavor, Madhavendra Puri, he managed to get this sandalwood, this Malaya Chandan, and then he set back off toward Vrindavan to offer this to Gopal, only meditating, when will I be able to offer this to Gopal? So as Madhavendra Puri was going, it is said even they confiscated what he had, but then he had all the necessary paperwork, so they gave it again. And then as he was going further and further, he eventually came back toward Remuna, which is the place of Kirachora Gopinath. So when he arrived there, it is said that Gopal was feeling a little concerned that it's a very long distance back to Vrindavan, and my devotee has proved that he will do anything to serve me. So I don't want to put him in any more difficulty. He has proved that he will do anything for me. So then Gopal again came to Madhavendra Puri in a dream. Is everything okay?
Sudevi, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't see the live feed.
Look at your phone.
No, but it is delayed, so let me see.
Now it is.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, fine.
Take it.
Okay.
So Gopal again came to Madhavendra Puri in a dream and ordered him, you should stay there and you should grind all of that sandalwood and apply the chandan to the body of Gopinath. Myself and Gopinath, we are the same. So if you apply the chandan to Gopinath, then I will be cooled. So Madhavendra Puri engaged some pujaris and some sevaks in grinding all of this chandan, and he remained in Remuna for some time. For quite some time. I think it was about a year that it took to grind all of this chandan. So he remained for the duration of that time, every day, putting so much sandalwood on the body of Gopinath, and by this, Madhavendra Puri's Gopal was served and his body was cooled. And then Madhavendra Puri, it is said from there he went back to Puri. One thing with Madhavendra Puri, at the time of his departure from this world, he had two main disciples. This was Ishvara Puri and Ramachandra Puri. So, as Madhavendra Puri was departing from this world, Ishvara Puri, the Guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was serving him so nicely, taking care of all of his needs. He was cleaning up after him, cleaning his stool, taking care of and arranging everything, and especially doing the most important seva, always speaking Harikatha, chanting Harinam, and reminding Madhavendra Puri of Krishna. This is the nature of a really beautiful Sat Sishya. We see this also with our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. You can listen to the cassettes. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to see Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada called for him to come, and Prabhupada was concerned and what will happen with the devotees and my disciples, and this thing and that thing, and Gurudev kept saying to him, don't worry, everything will be taken care of, everything will be done. Now just remember Krishna, just concentrate on Krishna. And Gurudev was acting in this role of Sat Shishya, as Shiksha, disciple, but reminding, it's not that Prabhupada was not remembering Krishna or that Madhavendra Puri was not remembering Krishna, but still, as our Gurudev would do, he would sit there during class and have others speak about Krishna, although he is so much more advanced than them still. This was Udipana, stimulation for him to remember Krishna. So he was telling Prabhupada, don't worry for all of these things, we'll take care of that. You just concentrate on your Ishtadev, Krishna. And then he's saying Shridupa Manjari Pada Se Mor Sampara and Hari Hari Kabimor Hoibe Sudina. Such a beautiful mood. And Prabhupada asked him that you should help my disciples and personally do my samadhi with your own hands. And that you should help my disciples, which he vowed to do until his last breath. So he tried the best he could. But this is another story. So now, Madhavendra Puri is about ready to depart from this world. Ishwar Puri is serving him day and night, hand and foot, and always reminding him of Krishna. At that time, Ramachandra Puri, this other disciple, came. What are you doing chanting the names of Krishna and hearing the pastimes of Krishna? You're a sannyasi. You should meditate on Brahm, on the impersonal feature of the Absolute, so that you can merge into Brahm. It means he never heard or understood the instructions of Madhavendra Puripad. Madhavendra Puripad was absorbed in remembering the moods of Srimati Radhika. Gurudev said he's a special maidservant, Manjari, of Srimati Radhika. So he was remembering these beautiful prayers. What is it? Hey Devi, hey Daita, hey Bhuvanaika Bandhu, hey Krishna, hey Chapala, hey Karunaika Sindhu, hey Nata, hey Ramana, hey Nayana Birama. So all of these beautiful moods were manifesting. And also this one here. Ai Dina Dayadranata He Maturanata Kadava Lokshashe Hridayam Twadaloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham. These are the moods of Srimati Radhika which were manifesting in his heart. And tears were flowing from his eyes. And he was experiencing all Ashtasattvic bhavs. At that time, Ramachandra Puri tried to stop him and told him, don't think about this, think about Brahm. Madhavendra Puri said, get out of here, I don't want to see your face. This was an aparad against the love and affection that he was experiencing for Krishna. He rejected that disciple. And what happens as a result of offending your guru? Immediately your heart becomes infested with all kinds of material desires. Right? The greatest aparad to Harinam is sadhu ninda, gurur avagya. Or the greatest one is disobeying the orders of the spiritual master, or to think that your spiritual master is an ordinary mortal like yourself. So the result of that is the increase of Kanaka Kamani and Pratishta. But we see how Ishwar Puripad was serving his Gurudev hand and foot and always reminding him of Krishna. So it is said because of this amazing mood of dedication, Madhavendra Puri granted all blessings to Ishwar Puripad that made transcendental prem awaken within your heart for the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. And from that, Mahaprabhu accepted Ishwar Puripad as his Gurudev. So on this day we pray for the mercy of Madhavendra Puripad. Shri Madhavendra Puripad ki jai. Shri Srinivas Acharya ki jai. Shri Radharamana Ju ki jai. Shri Parameshwari Thakur ki jai. Shri Buddha Avatar ki jai. And Krishna floating in the lake with flowers ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So we're going very soon to do Kirtan, so we're going to do a very quick one now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaura Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gaura Hare Bol, Jaya Gurudev, Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Rama
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Bolo Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Shri Radha Ramanan ki jai. Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam. See you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us. Now we have to set up for the kirtan we're going to do on that. What is it? Kirtan Sangha Mauritius.
And that's where the pots fall from during kirtan, just so you know.
So that will be in 10 minutes. 10
Okay.
minutes.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.
See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Dandavat.